again. As always, my two favorite most people ever, Toby and Zach. Tonight, we're going to start with Zach digging into some structure and time management, see how he implements that into his life, and then we'll probably trail off into something else and get off topic like we usually do. But yeah, Zach, since everything takes you longer than it would take the rest of us, I know we touched a little bit on it in one of the other episodes. What are some things that you need to do to make sure you're staying efficient with your time and making it on time to places that you need to be?
Well, starting back when I first got hurt, I was always late for everything. And I felt like, oh yeah, people understand I was always late. There's a reason. But I soon came to realize that I need to get my head out of my ass and start. I'm a normal human. I'm going to be there on time. So for instance, for work, I get up. If I have to be somewhere, say it's 7:00 in the morning, I have to get up at 5:30. I learned that because it takes me a little bit to get dressed, get my clothes on, get my shoes on. In the unforeseen circumstances, if I fall out of a wheelchair, which happens, I need to get back in it. So I leave myself some time. A lot of times now I am on time for everything. I make it a point to be sharp on time. But I learned time management was a very hard thing to do because I was getting lazy on myself, where I would feel, okay, if I'm a little bit late, no big deal. But in reality, it's not an excuse. I have an obligation. I got to be there. I'm going to do it. When I started working, that is when it kicked into play. I was not going to be late for work. I was going to be sure I was there every day, not going to be late. And that seemed to evolve into my personal life as well. So I'm going to be on time for parties and stuff, which I still, unforeseen circumstances do happen, just like for everybody. But that was work definitely kicked my ass into gear. As far as remembering, like like with work, I work full part-time, I guess, and I do my stuff with Adaptive Outdoors. I do stuff for Hardcore Off-Road. So I'm constantly doing stuff, and I need to structure how to keep all this stuff in line. And I really, really struggled with it for quite some time. I've realized that I need to write stuff down. And I learned this from you guys, Toby, when he said it. But I started doing it prior to starting our podcast. If I didn't write it down or put it in my calendar, I literally would forget about it. Like if somebody say, "Hey, dude, you give me a price on that lift kit," I'm like, shit. And it's not an excuse, but I would forget. And I just had so much shit going on. Even with work now, I make a daily notes of what I did that day, just in case I have to go back and look. So everything I do, I write down now. I try to keep stuff in order I do Google Calendar. I do that, so it throws me alerts. That's how all my appointments are. So that seemed to help me a ton to try. Once I started figuring out, okay, if I get something, I'm going to forget about it if I don't write it down or put it in my phone. So that's what I started doing. If I get a order on my website, I immediately put it on my phone. So that's
I'm going to jump in there with you, Zach, on that. I'm the same way, even when me and you train, and I don't care if it's in one day or in 2 weeks. As soon as we say it, even when we do the podcast, as soon as we say it, I'm typing it in my phone as we're talking, because that's the only thing that works for me. And if I don't put it in there, then it's not going to happen. It's that simple. And it's unfortunate that it's taken this long to do something so simple that prevents you from failing.
Literally. Because, it's when people, that time that those people say, "Hey, did you get me a price on this?" Or, "Hey, did you do this?" Or it's like, shit. Then you feel like you're 2 inches tall because you forgot all about it. And literally, life gets busy. So we got to remind ourselves somehow.
Well, yeah. Until we dove into this, I had no idea like how busy of a person you are. Besides like driving past your house, and most of the time I see you in summertime, you're outside doing shit all the time. But not only that, so you have your business, Adaptive Outdoors. You you work for Corey, or do you just help him with social media stuff?
I help him out. I just help him
Okay.
out.
So, but still, you're involved with hardcore off-road, doing their social media, taking videos, handling sales and stuff like that. Then you sit on the board for something too, don't you?
Oh, Capsy. Yeah, I sit on the board for Capsy.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm meeting tomorrow. But yeah.
And then training on top of that, your full-time job,
Yeah.
and also having a wife and a dog who needs your attention and going on trips and stuff throughout the weekend.
It's busy.
And 4x4 shows.
Yeah, it's busy. It's
Jeeping,
busy.
side-by-sides.
Busy
Dude.
lifestyle. But
I wouldn't be able to keep up with that.
it's honestly, I learned to structure it how I can, what I can do. I realize I can't do everything in the world, but also the reason I do it so much is because I enjoy the high-paced lifestyle. I like constantly doing something because my mind doesn't think then. So then I can think about, okay, how am I going to structure my day or my week? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get a post here? How am I going to do this? And then we do our podcasts on Tuesdays, and it's like, it keeps me busy, and I sort of enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I enjoy doing.
So
I don't know.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. I'm the same way, Zach. Like I don't like sitting down. Actually, it was last night. Last night I was just so tired from driving, and I said I wanted to sit down and watch a movie. And it's the first time I turned on the TV. And not that I watch news. I don't even have cable, but it's the first time I've sat down in like at least a month to turn on the TV. Anyway, the busier you are, the easier it is to get shit done. Tell me that you feel the same way.
I agree 100% with that.
Yes, because when you don't have anything to do, it seems to just get one thing done, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But yet when you have 8 million things to do, you can do 8 million in one.
Yeah.
And it's like as soon as you stop, the momentum stops. Because
Yeah.
I know with me, when I'm on the road, that's when I'm at my best, because I have the structure laid out for me of how my day is going to go. You know, minimum 14 hours with drive time is going to be dedicated to work. And then once you're going, it's like, okay, I got to hit the gym. You do the gym, do the workout, whatever you need to cook. All right, you get your cook time in, and then sleep, get up, do it over again. But when you're home, it's been better this time because I've been Mr. Mom, constantly doing stuff all day, you know, whether it's doing dishes, laundry, helping with the kids. But the second you stop, it's so hard to get that ball rolling again.
Yeah. But now let me ask you guys this. Let's see if you have the same answer. What do you feel rewarded after a day that you're constantly doing something, you actually got your shit done?
Oh my God, dude. There's no question. That's not even a question. Yes.
Okay. Like you
even
feel like you're on a high. You feel good.
I even just had a conversation an hour ago when I was at the gym. A guy was saying how, you know, he needs, no matter how bad of a mood he wakes up in, he has to at least make his bed, throw something in the washer or the dryer. So that way he starts his day off feeling accomplished, like he actually got shit done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, that makes so much fucking sense, because right off the bat, if you have that sense of accomplishment that you do, and I mean, making your bed, that really doesn't make me feel accomplished, but I do it because I do like to see that it's done. And then I like to check a few things off in the morning, especially from my work list. And we'll go over that here in a minute. But then even an hour into my morning, I feel accomplished. And then it's so easy to knock out the tasks. Like it's not like I'm not even doing anything then. It's easy after that. The hard ones are right away in the morning to get a couple done. And then you're like, oh shit. Yeah. I'm already doing better than I thought I would today. This is great. I'm only an hour into it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but there's it's the University of Texas, I believe. There's a commencement speech for their graduation, and it was done by, at the time, I think he was the commander of like all the Navy SEALs. Like he was a top guy as far as SEALs go. And that's what he opened with was first thing you do, make your bed, make it right. And you've completed your first task of the day. If nothing else happens, good for you that day. At least you completed that first task, and it's a small accomplishment, but it's something to be proud of and something to hopefully to get that ball rolling to, make you have a productive day, to get you in that mindset. But look that up if you ever need to get some inspiration. Is
Zach, you never seen it, brother? Dude, it was everywhere for like almost all of last year, I think it was, or 2019.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, Navy SEAL Commander Commencement Speech, University of Texas. Look those up, and you should find it on YouTube. Yeah,
I'll check it out.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
I checked it out.
So Zach, since we were on that, I'm gonna bring up the sheets real quick.
Yeah.
Because I know this helps me, and I know this helps everyone. So I made these. I have a daily worksheet, a weekly worksheet, and a monthly worksheet, and these worksheets. I tried to do them the night before, so I know what I'm doing the next day. So that way, because tomorrow starts today. Okay, if anybody tells you any different, they're lying. Or if you have time in the morning, like Zach was just saying, he, before he goes to work, his full-time job, he does them. So then when he gets out of work, he knows what to do when he gets home.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I do it the night before. So first thing in the morning, no thinking other than making my bed, right? No thinking, come over here, check a couple of these things off on my daily checklist. Zach, do you have the weekly checklist there?
I do right here. That's
No,
what I'm just looking at.
Just hold that up to the camera real quick so people can see it. There you go. So that works. So this has helped me so much. And then I sent them to the guys because we had terrible structure for the podcast. We were fucking everything up. And it was a mess. It was really hard to keep things straight. So we all got on the same page using the same methods. And we're going to make sure we get them to you guys for free. So it should be below this video. So make sure you download your free structure worksheet. It'll help everyone. Anyway, back to you, Zach. I forget where I was at.
No, I want to talk about the weekly one.
Okay.
This weekly one here. This is a big one for me because I answer it. Nobody sees it. I fill it out. I answer it. I circle it to what, and you'll see once you download it, how I really did. If I didn't follow my meal plan, I write no. And then at the end of the week, I reflect on it. It's like, wow, I can see where I really fucked up there a little bit. But it really calls you out, and you can see back through the week how you did. And I think that one's both these are very important. I really, it changed the way I did things, and it actually keeps me structured to. I don't come home now from work with the daily one thinking, what the hell am I going to do now? I gotta do shit. I don't have to think. I can look and say, okay, I'm going to knock off this list. I'm going to start knocking it off. That's the way to do it, honestly. Because if you don't structure and write something down, like you just said, I never realized how important it was until we started running into it's hard when you're in a daily routine, you're trying to figure stuff out, and then we throw this, the podcast into the mix. And I thought, okay, we'll just throw it together, but that's not the case. You have to have some sort of structure.
Hell yeah. To be honest, I thought after we got all of it built, right? Because we had to build the website. We had to get the audio hosting website. We had to build YouTube. We had to make all the art for all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and our website. And I'm like, oh, dude, once we get it done, we'll be good. And I can't believe there's always stuff to do. There's always stuff to do
on everything.
Yeah. And you got to write it down. And even if it's something like let's talk about communication real quick. Will, what just happened? And we all didn't communicate. And what just happened the other day?
Oh yeah. When, I thought I was being Mr. Helpy McHelperson. And so for the intro music you have to at least put in the description, the artist, the name of the song. So on YouTube, it's all in there. But on Podbean, where we have the podcast at, I went in there and just added it to the descriptions. Well, me and Toby talked a little bit about it, but didn't really click for me. So it erased everything that was manually typed in for all of the descriptions on everything that we had published publicly. So did you have to type all that in back by hand, by memory, or
no?
Did you have at least saved somewhere?
Yeah, at least I had it saved somewhere. It was literally drag and drop.
Okay,
so
good.
That is why every platform says the same exact thing. Okay, because literally I open up YouTube, drag, drop. I changed the links just because on YouTube the links have to be different. I made them hyperlinked in Podbean, as where in YouTube they are full links because that's the rule. So that's why on anything that we make, any title, any name, description, everything has to be the same across every platform for that reason, because one platform completely fucked up and it was literally click, drop, click, drop. Episode 3, click, drop. It was maybe 5 minutes. I was done.
Oh, good. I felt like such a dick bag.
Yeah, but we need to communicate. Anything that anybody does,
yep,
we need to communicate.
Yeah, no doubt. And that, before we started doing this and talking, we said we were going to talk about structure, time management. I would like before I talked to you guys, I never talked to anybody about it, never knew how anybody else did it. I honestly like the listeners, whoever's listening, to shoot us an email or something. How do you guys time manage? What do you guys do for your time management? What are some of your techniques? I just want to know different outlooks of what people do. You know what I mean? Like how do these people do it?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we named this a Constant Grind Network, because we're literally just trying to pull people together and pull resources. And if someone comes out better on the other side because of it, mission accomplished.
We're here to learn from one another.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm already super happy with what we're doing. Yeah, and this is just super exciting.
So how do you, Toby? So you fill your daily thing out, help me out here, schedule.
Yep, the daily worksheet. Yeah.
What do you do do you always complete the tasks, or sometimes you fall short?
Yeah. Oh man, I fall short all the time. But is it something that I fell short on because I wasn't at that level? Like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to knock this out. Well, I didn't realize that I needed 3 hours to prepare for that third one, or to get at that level where I could do that third one. So, I mean, I don't get upset when I don't make it. I just make sure that's the first thing I do is I look at my old worksheet, and then I add it to the next day's worksheet right away. But then I mean, you're going to fall short all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
But then I know, like, oh shit, okay, I think this is going to take me 2 more hours to do. So then I'll put like 2 hours, circle it, and then I'll put my task. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear my dog, but she's whining and it's bothering me. Come here, come say hi.
Well, that's why I wanted the listeners and people to hear that this daily is just an outline. If you don't get it completely done, start the next day on it. It's just it's a task, a set of tasks that you want to get done. That's what you're going to do.
It's basically your homemade or personal made honeydew list.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right. So, Will, when you, I think when you go back to work here, will you start filling these out? Do you think that would help?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm at my best when I'm at work. When I'm on a steady rotation, when I'm on the 14 days on, 7 days off, that's when I'm at my best, because the structure of work also carries into my days off. It's this prolonged time at home where I fall off the wagon hard and just kind of turn into a shitbag, because I'm relying on me to be proactive and to get things done, and just by nature that's just not me. So it's nice having work there, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with this industry. Like I truly love my job. I wish I could be able to come home every night, or I'd do it for the rest of my life. But when I'm at work, there's a switch that gets flipped on that it's fucking game time. Beast mode, whatever you want to call it. It's a different mindset, because it's high stakes. Like, you're going out there, it's a dangerous job. It's long hours. You got to deal with customers. You got to deal with other service companies. You got to deal with your guys. You got to deal with your management. And there's a whole lot of moving parts where you need to be like super focused and on your shit the whole time. And that it doesn't shut off when the day is done. So that's what I think helps me to stay focused, stay structured. And, that's how, when I'm out there working, 12, 14, 16-hour days, I'm in that mode of just get shit done. So yeah, after I work all those hours, I'm going to go back to the hotel. And if it's working out in my room, like this next job, the closest gym's probably 30 minutes away. So I'll be, carrying my dumbbells and my weight vest into the hotel room, working out after work, doing a lot of body weight exercises, you know, cooking in the room. So you're limited on what you can cook because you're usually using like an electric skillet on a dresser in a hotel room. So it's, you just buy the good stuff to eat. So you're not eating trash. And then when I come home, that beast mode kind of carries over when I'm home too. Cause it's like, man, I killed it these last couple of weeks. I want to keep this momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to make good decisions dietary wise anyways for me and get into the gym and stuff because you've been so that momentum is kind of carrying on. And then even towards the end of days off, day 6, day 7, where you kind of feel like it's starting to taper off and you're kind of getting lazy, then you get back on the road, you get back into it, you get re-engaged with everything. And for me, that's when I'm at my best. So work for me really helps me stay structured and stay on top of my shit. And I'm a better person when I'm out there doing that stuff. So
living a high pace lifestyle, you perform better.
Yeah. Yep. And then usually when I'm at work, when it's like a high pressure situation, like say we're stuck in the well or having problems, it's the same thing. It's like you take that being super focused and then multiply it by 1,000. Because Toby, you've been there. You've done what I do. Doing wireline. If something's wrong, when you're the supervisor, all the eyes are on you. All the pressure's on you. You're holding up frack. You're holding up $1 million operation because it could be something as stupid as a 2-cent O-ring that's leaking somewhere, and you have to tear whatever that is apart, redress it, repressure test it, make sure everything's good to go as fast as you can, as safe as you can. And it's just, I don't know, it's like it's an adrenaline rush every day. It's a lot of fun.
I was just gonna say it's almost like a drug because I remember I can even feel it right now. To this day I love working under pressure, and I owe it all to all my days in the oil field where you don't get second chances. So if you can't fix the fuck up right now, you're gone. And that's,
Yep.
I'm sure it's even more cutthroat today because there's so many people out of work.
Yeah.
So
But,
sorry, Will, go ahead.
But no, it's and that's the thing is like, luckily it's actually certain customers, it's like that, but that's the nice thing. You get out there, you perform flawlessly for months and months at a time. You get a little bit more leeway because you have this documented track record of, we have a 99.99 efficiency rating. We had 2 hours for some bullshit we had to fix, or we had to wait 6 hours to get a new truck out here, whatever. Luckily, there's a little bit of leeway there. But yeah, typically if you're holding up the show for more than, half a day, later, you get someone else out here that can do the same thing you guys do. But back when we were getting started, oh man, you had 30 minutes of downtime. All right, rig your shit down, get off pad, and then your competition's sitting at the leash road already. Like they're already there. And then, but it was also the same thing. It's like they'd fuck up, and then we'd be on the staging pad ready to come take back over. Which, in the long run, they probably lost more time swapping out companies left and right.
Absolutely,
But
I agree.
it pushed you to be as good as you can be all the time.
Yeah,
so much fun.
Yeah. I wish Zach could have been there with us to know what it's like to be in zombie mode, working on your 84th day in a row with no more than 3 hours of sleep in 24 hours every fucking day. And everybody going through the motions. And if someone moved the trash can, there was a fight because everyone was so used to where it was that nobody looked when they threw shit. And then if the trailer would get dirty, everybody would get pissed. Oh yeah, I don't want to do those. That's a young man's game. And I'm not saying I'm old, but that show is a young man's game because the way we work, the way we slept, I know they don't do it like that anymore.
The way
was it like that though?
Dude, like, oh yeah, we would all have hotels. We would see them maybe once a week. And other than that, it was like, hey, Will, I bought some baby wipes at the store. Can you get my back for me, brother? Yeah, man,
dude.
I got you.
Yeah. Like I remember we had these really nice apartments, but we were working one crew 24 hours a day, and Chesapeake had some issues where they wouldn't let wireline leave. If the frac pumps were pumping, we were on site. So we couldn't leave because frac and frac. Because if there's an issue with the well, we have to run what's called a kill plug and run down the well, set it, it kills the well. So we had to be on site all the time. So the only time we got to leave was if frac had downtime. So I was literally, it was like the beginning of April. It's like 10 degrees outside. And I was literally, my bed was on the floor of the job trailer with like the oil absorbent diapers, the squares. You lay those about yay thick and you make a pillow, wrap it up in electrical tape. And then if you're lucky, you got a glycol hose, you can pull that in for heat, but we didn't have that. So I had like tarps and like that silver bubbly wrap insulation stuff. You wrap that around you and you make a cocoon or a sleeping bag out, whatever you can. And that's how you lived. But we were making a shitload of money.
But okay, get this, Zach. Okay, after we worked together after this too. But Will, you remember when I moved to Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I moved to Colorado, they said, "Oh, who'd you work for?" And I said, "It was Tri-State Wireline." And the guy goes, "I heard about you guys. You guys are all them young men out there that whoop everybody's asses and won't take anybody's relief, so because you want all that money." And I'm like, "Yep, that was us." And he's like, "The oil field's a small world, son." And that's when I realized how small every little group is, or every group. It's so small. But we worked so hard. How about it, Will? We were, I would say we were all so confident, not cocky. And I miss this. I miss the teamwork. Zach, this is like, we're doing it with this. But imagine building a car, and the three of us could build the best car. But instead of you wrenching and me wrenching and Will wrenching, you would yell, "Give me the 10 millimeter." Will would throw it to me. I'd throw it to you. You'd throw back the other wrench. And then you'd be like, "Whatever, I need a gasket kit." And Will would throw the gasket kit and I would throw it to you and you would throw back the shit and we would throw it away without making a mess. And we would, that like everything was teamwork. And it was like our slogan: if you won't do it, get the fuck out of our way and we will, and we'll do it better than you. And we did. Yep. If anybody was taking up our money time, we just went and helped them and did it as best as we could because we wanted to make more money.
Yep.
It was the coolest, one of the coolest times of my life.
But that had to be a crazy lifestyle. Like how?
Oh, dude, it was trippy. But you were so zombied out, like you didn't realize. Like Brandon always called it a crazy o'clock. When you're so tired and so sleep deprived, where everything is just hilarious, like everything's just funny. It's like you're high. Like people probably thought we were high because we're just like over there, like staring at the side of a truck, just laughing like a bunch of dumbasses, or just like sleeping. Like you walk in the trailer, there's a bunch of grown ass men just standing there, just standing. Like it was something. Oh
my god!
Will, do you remember that YouTube video of how animals eat their food?
Dude, I literally just looked that up like last week.
I looked it up like a month ago. Zach, have you ever seen it?
No.
I'm gonna put it in the show notes, so I'm writing it down right now. Hang on, give me 1 second.
You know what's really funny? I really wanted to do a segment where we just had funny oil field stories to talk about.
Okay, so how animals eat their food. I'm going to put this in the show notes so our listeners can view this. You have to view it. If you've never seen it, you will laugh your ass off. Anyway, this came out one of the last years we were all together. And I bet you we watched this YouTube video 8 million times, and we would laugh even harder every time we watched it. This video definitely helped us get us through some rough times, because when you're that tired and you know that if you make a mistake that you could kill somebody, like you have to be on your A game, but there's no sleep. So imagine how hard that is, right? And you don't want your best friends to get hurt. So you have to be on your A game because they trust you and you trust them. And like, it was just the best brotherhood that you could have imagined, but you were so tired And I don't know why that video just popped in my head.
Dude,
But
it was the stupidest things that we would laugh about. That and the one where the dude is like locked in the closet tripping on acid, Mr. Balloon Hands.
Was it Balloon Hands or the lizard guy?
Same thing, the Lizard
Oh.
King or whatever. But
Yeah.
it was, and oh man, that's where the dark humor really comes into play. Like when we were talking about in the other podcast, like you just got to laugh at some situations to get through it.
Oh yeah.
Like there's been so many times where you're just already down and then just life or the situation comes up and just curb stomps the whatever little hope right out of you, and then you start rigging down equipment. It's like, what can you do? You just gotta kind of laugh about it and be like, fuck it, hey, it is what it is, man. I get to see a bed.
Yeah, I don't want to take up all the time talking about this, Zach.
No.
But I would remember that they would say, hey, you guys got, 2 days. So whatever, go get some rest and we'll see you back here in 2 days. And we would drive 6 hours as fast as we could. And I remember this multiple times. And I would get home, shower, lay down in bed, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I would lay down and I'd be like, oh, and I'd get a phone call and it says, hey, we got to be up there in 3 hours. And it's like, dude, we all live 6 hours away. I know, you better fucking leave. And then
that happened
all the time. Dude, all the time.
One Memorial Day weekend when Tobe's family used to have this huge party every year, and it was one Memorial Day weekend. I think I left that party and came back like 4 different times to go to work.
Really?
Yeah, because we'd get the equipment, we'd go to Perryopolis, get equipment, drive up to Towanda, PA. So that's like 3 hours to Perryopolis, 5 hours, 6 hours with the big trucks up to Towanda, do the job, drive everything back down to Perryopolis, drive 3 hours home, and then like next day, like, hey, they got another well that they want to log. Go ahead and we gotta get the equipment up there. And it's like I'm half in the bag, and it's like, okay. I remember saying St. Pat. This is the last story I'll tell, and then I'll be done. But I remember St. Patrick's Day one night, and I was out the Eagles. This was 2012-ish. And it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm freaking Irish, so I'm hammered drunk on green beer. And Shane calls me at like 1 o'clock in the morning, says, hey, they flipped a shiv while they were down hole and they fucked the wire line up. You got to swap a truck out. We need you to go to the shop and get a truck. And it's like, I'm fucked up, bro. He's like, well, you better get fucking sober and get down there and get a truck. So I had to drive. I went home, slept for like a couple hours to get a little bit better, but I had to drive 3 hours down, get in a big truck, and then drive it as fast as I could up to Towanda and help those guys rig it up, take the truck that was fucked up and drive, 5-6 hours back down to Perryopolis, then drive home.
Oh my. So that was a real lifestyle. That was a high-paced freaking lifestyle, no sleep.
Oh, yeah.
100%. No sleep, gas station food, baby wipe showers, chicken patties. Remember the chicken patties? Well, bags and bags and
patty
bags
parties.
Did it take a toll on your body? Like, yeah.
Oh,
dude. Okay, so I don't know if you scroll back on my Instagram, there's a picture. I have 3 or 4 pictures in a row, and it says 21, 25, and 28. Okay. When I was 25, I forget where I was, who I was working for. I don't know, but I know I was out on Southwest Energy. And Daniels was with me. I don't remember who else. But anyway, I remember trying to sleep, laying down in the back of my truck. And my blood pressure was so high from eating gas station food. Okay, so I went from fit to fat to fatter, and I thought I was going to die because my blood pressure was so high. When my heart would pound, my whole body would jolt.
What?
Yeah, I would lay there and it would be like a hiccup. You know how your whole body moves when you hiccup?
Yeah.
That's what happened. Every time my heart would pound, my whole body would move. Oh. And I just felt so terrible. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking die.
Can you talk about this one?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So at 25 is when I said, I'm not living this anymore. I was fit. I have to get fit again. And then it was a journey to lose like fucking 70 pounds of fat.
That's probably not good if you could feel every time your heartbeat, it's probably not good.
It was all about production. That's all it was. Whatever.
But see, back then we made so much money.
Yeah.
And I don't, can you do that anymore, Will?
Oh yeah. Cause now all the operators are hourly instead of salary.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, lead operators, they were making $25 an hour. You're working 100 and something hours a week, and they were getting 1% bonus. So yeah, I mean, I knew some guys, they were making $140,000 a year.
Oh, that's not bad then.
No, not at all. That was more than I ever made as an operator.
Yeah.
100,000 or 100 over 100 hours a week.
Dude, Will, remember when we worked for JW and they said, here, fill out these timesheets. We want to make sure that you're filling them out. We're paying you fair. Do you remember?
Yeah, the sliding scale.
Yeah, the sliding scale. We were working 135 hours a week, Zach. And then they kind of took all the papers and crumpled them up and said, don't ever talk about this again.
Yeah.
Because there was so many laws that were broke because we were making like $2 an hour.
Yeah. But the bonus is what compensated for it. But so 112 hours a week is what we would have been working when we were working down in West Virginia last year. That's with drive time, because we'd have to drive hour and a half, hour 45 minutes to work, 12-hour shift, and then hour and 45 minutes back.
So was there any structure in your life at that time?
The whole thing is structure. I mean, the whole thing is, you are busy from the moment if you get sleep, from the moment you open your eyes to the moment you close your eyes, everything is structured.
Yeah.
It was structured. Like you had something how you did it. Like you knew it.
It's either you're working, sleeping, eating, and like a shower. For me, a shower was always sacrificial, because unless I was like completely disgusting, it was sleep or food. You know, you could baby wipe it or just deodorant, cologne, whatever you got to do. But like when you're on pad, you have your task, and then when you get into like zombie mode, that's your job. You're either building guns, redressing the setting tool, or you're cleaning stuff and redoing electronics. So you just put your head down and you just do stuff the entire time until you get a break. Hopefully you can get a power nap or eat something and then do it all over again.
Yeah, it never stopped. It never stopped, Zach.
Because I remember one guy we worked with, Matt, he was always like a pressure control guy that worked into doing what we did. And one of the first things you teach newer guys is a setting tool, because it's one of the easier things to kind of get a grasp on. So he was doing that, and he's like, hey, I'm getting pretty good at this. And I asked him one time, I was like, oh, good for you, man. That's cool. And can you do it blindfolded, and can you do it while you're sleeping? And he's like, well, I don't know. What do you mean about that? I was like, just keep building it, man. You'll see someday. And then it was the first job we took that was like true 24-hour. Like with some of the other ones, there was some downtime, but like this company, they were doing like no downtime. You were busy the 24 hours you were there. So we weren't set up to have relief yet. So these poor guys, it was Matt, Tim, and Toby's brother, JR. They were out there like 72 hours straight with no sleep. And I was the first guy to get down there to give them relief. And I literally walked in the trailer. Tim dropped what he was doing, came over and gave me a hug. JR, who was in the front, he was scrubbing subs, cleaning stuff. And he turns around and looks at me. He's like, he's not real. And then he goes back to cleaning stuff. And then I look at Matt. He's over there just like losing his mind. And I say to him, I was like, hey, Matt, see what I meant about being able to build that thing in your sleep? He's like, oh, I get it. No, I get it. But
that is rough. That is true grind.
So when people say to me, oh my God, like I work 40 hours this week, I'm so exhausted.
Shut up.
And it's like, okay, so just so you know, Zach, too, when you're out there, you're on top of containment. So it's plastic lined with felt in some cases. So that way nothing can touch the earth, so it doesn't pollute it. Okay. This felt is black. So in the middle of summer, when it's 110 degrees already, and you have to wear FR, fire retardant clothing up to your neck and down to your wrists, how hot do you think it is out there? Plus, you have the biggest engines Caterpillar makes on 24 pumps, if not more, or 12. How many's out there, Will? 12.
Usually like 16, 18 pumps.
16. Okay,
20,
so you got So they're probably using what, 12 at a time.
Yeah.
And when they're fracking, and all of that heat coming off of those motors. Okay.
Oh,
So
If
I
you're in
can
the wrong spot and the wind's blowing towards you, all the heat, they're like 1,500 to 2,500 horsepower diesel, like train motors. And all that heat's just blowing on you.
Yeah, and you're in clothing up to here with a hard hat on. I can say, I mean, I've watched frat guys walk between the pumps and then pass out from heat exhaustion, and then a guy go running in to grab them and drag them out, and then they still never shut the job down.
Yeah.
And like, so I know what it's like to work in hell. I do. And then when it's 40 below, 20, I think 28 degrees below zero was the coldest it's been and I've ever worked in. And they couldn't even frack, but they didn't want anybody to leave.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, we're going to try it. And then as soon as they would try it, everything would freeze. And then we'd be like, here we go again.
sit in the trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that we were out in Ohio, it was like negative 32 and like full, like heavy, like FR jackets and like winter bibs. Like you're insulated. You're wearing like that much clothes. And as soon as you would step out of the truck, all that cold would just go right through all of that, hit you. And you had like 15, 20 minutes before you had to get back in a vehicle or else you were getting frostbite.
that's crazy.
Oh, dude, so much fun.
It was so terrible and so much fun and so rewarding because anything that you I'm not pointing you out, Zach, but anything that anybody says that they've done and they've fucking worked hard, and it's like, fuck you. Don't you bitch to me. You want to know what fucking working hard is? And they're like, oh my God, there's no way that even exists. That's illegal, whatever. There's no way someone would have let you done that. Well, guess what? We did it for 8 fucking years.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, a dude I was working with on one of the pads recently, he just posted on Facebook saying how much he hates when people see the things that he has, it says must be nice. It's like, motherfucker, it is nice, but you have no idea what I did to earn it.
And that's so true, because when I lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it felt like it was the highlight of my life because I was a supervisor making bank, and life was easy, right? Had a house, 2 cars, 2 dirt bikes, jet skis. I had everything I wanted. Never had to worry about bills, nothing. And the only thing I worried about is just having fun when I was home, because if I was lucky, I got 5 days a month home. If I was lucky.
That's crazy.
And then by the time that like the company got organized enough to hire enough people so you did have a schedule, like I think I only had 6 months where I worked 2 weeks, off a week, work 2 weeks, off a week. It was so cool. And then next thing you know, the big layoffs happened in 2015, and then I never went back. So it's
good for you.
yeah, I know, right? But I'm so glad I have all these memories.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'd love to get a group of us that have worked together and just record us telling the craziest stories we've ever had. We could probably make a whole segment of just that could be our comedy segment of just raunchy, stupid stories.
I'm sure I don't remember a lot, but there's some funny things that I remember, like Brody always smoking cigarettes on the package and sleeping in the package with the heater. And yeah.
Man.
But anyway, so how long are we in this? I think
about 50 minutes.
All right. What do you guys think? Should we cut her off there and then
cut her off? Yeah.
Cut her off. All right, guys. So before Will makes the exiting call, these awesome strategy daily worksheets and weekly worksheets, they are so awesome. You need to do them. You need to try them. Just try it. And
telling you'll better your life.
You will. And they are for free somewhere around this video or on the homepage of the website. I don't know how we're going to set it up yet, but we'll make sure it's there. And all right, Will, kick her off.
Hey,
thanks,
if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. Like, subscribe, share it. That helps us out in the YouTube world. Definitely check out those papers. Nothing bad ever came from something that's free. So yeah, check it out and hang around. We might do an after show, we might not, but hey, we'll definitely be back with some more fun stories and fun information. So, all right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.